Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining my DFE presentation. I am Ishwar Agarwal from Bangladesh. I'm a senior and I'm majoring in computer science and mathematics. My core message today that I want to deliver in this presentation is, can you work like an entrepreneur within a corporation? Right now, I'm in London studying abroad at University College London. This is a great picture of my college on a bright sunny day that I took off the internet, but the weather here is not anything like this. I've barely seen the sun in the last week. Last summer, I had the opportunity to work at Interact, which is a startup technology company in Louisville, Kentucky. You might know of them for the work they're doing in Eastern Kentucky to address unemployment gaps by training unemployed workers. And I presented about my experience during a DFE presentation. But this summer, I had the opportunity to work for Goldman Sachs, which many of you would think is exactly opposite of a startup. Since I cannot share about my work I had done this summer with Goldman Sachs for having signed an NDA, it led me into thinking, what lessons can I share with my peers that can provide them valuable insights? So today, instead of talking about my project, I'm going to share with you how I got this internship. What was it like to work in a corporate environment? How you can use your entrepreneurial mindset while still being in a corporate environment, and also share with you three big lessons that I took away from my internship. Let's agree, applying for internship is not a very pleasing experience. A search on Indeed.com with the phrase internship revealed 50,000 results. So questions like where should I apply, which positions are right for me, have always bothered me a lot. And I'm sure many of you who tried to do online applications can attest to the situation. However, using some search criteria and good tools can easily solve this problem. Some criteria I used to limit my search results were size of the company, the location where it is located, and whether the internship was paid. Since I had already experienced working in a startup, I wanted to be working for a big size company. I wanted to be in one of the bigger cities because I wanted to grow my network immensely. And I wanted a paid internship because if I got a paid internship, there's a high chance the company would be willing to hire me for a job because they would not simply waste their money on an intern. Then using tools like Glassdoor and LinkedIn job search, it is easier to narrow down the search result because they allow you to plug in these criteria in their filters. But you might ask, how many applications did I complete? Well, I had applied to about 90 companies from mid to big sizes. From my experience, the more you apply, the more chances you have from hearing back. However, the most frustrating part of this application was not the application itself, but it was waiting for a response from the company. But as entrepreneurs, we cannot simply sit back and wait for a response. I had easily eliminated this wait by mobilizing my resources, one of the EPG skills that I had learned during my EPG Summer Institute. Here is how I applied my ability. This is a screenshot from LinkedIn jobs page where you can easily identify companies in your network. Even better, you can exactly see if a Berea alumni works there, or are there people in your network who work there. Most of the time, these companies have options for their employers to recommend people for internships and jobs. And a small message asking your Berea alum for recommendation can help you get interviews with these companies, or at least they can connect you to the HR. To prospective EPG fellows, please take advantage of your networking opportunities. As I learned from this internship hunt experience, the connections you build are really going to matter. Now, a little bit about Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is a leading global investment banking, securities, and investment management firm that provides a wide range of financial services to a substantial and diversified client base that includes corporations, financial institutions, governments, and high net worth individuals. Goldman Sachs has about 33,000 employees. Every year, half quarter million students apply for internship, and only 10,000 are selected for various positions. But we already have 4 billion alumni who work at Goldman Sachs, which is how I was introduced to the company. After a thorough interview process consisting of assessments, coding challenge, and 2 on-site interviews, I was selected for the summer analyst position. I worked in a team that delivers applications for investment banking that provides a wide range of financial services. Primarily, I helped develop an application feature working both on the front and back end of the software that will help about 5,000 investment bankers work more efficiently. I wanted to talk about expectations and reality of working in a corporate environment. I thought it was going to be a very cutthroat work environment where everyone is looking to throw each other under the bus and everyone is working very late hours. Even though everyone was striving for excellence, this was not true. What I realized was the work environment was clearly defined by my own team. Every team had a different work environment. Some liked dressing up more, while some liked staying late for work. However, I really enjoyed working with my team. Throughout the internship, I had a buddy who helped me answer any questions and helped me acclimate to the process in the beginning. Since I could easily reach out to my manager, I felt a very flat hierarchy in the company. But the company is really restrictive about what tools and technology a software engineer can utilize because it really cares about its reputation. Another expectation of mine was that I would be working on a project that is experimental and developing a piece of software that would not really be utilized by the company. But I was clearly surprised when I had the opportunity to work on the feature enhancement of with some cutting edge technology on an existing product that my 10 and found that my 10 weeks of contribution to the company was going to be utilized by thousands of users within the company. During my internship, I had a unique opportunity to participate in an internal hackathon. This was the 8th hackathon I was attending. A hackathon is a day-long event where developers, engineers, and designers, and people with different backgrounds get together to build a new product that solves a problem. And at the end, you have to present your idea before a panel of judges, where the best team is awarded based on some criteria. One rule of this internal hackathon was the youngest member in the team had to present the idea. Since I was the only intern in my team, the responsibility came on me. I started feeling nervous because I would have to present in front of my managing directors, partners, and CTO in this auditorium. I could have backed off like some other interns in other teams, but then I recognized this was a unique opportunity for me to present myself among my senior leaders in my companies. Another important EPG ability I learned during the Summer Institute. And I'm thankful for my experiences of winning 5 hackathons and 2 business model competitions that my team was able to secure second place in the Goldman Hackathon. This was a great realization that one can still work in a corporation and be entrepreneurial. To my peers and prospective EPG fellows, please take advantage of the loads of opportunities that Berea and EPG has to provide, like business competitions, startup weekends, and hackathons. Because these opportunities have allowed me to build skills and gain the confidence and competence in a low-risk environment and prove my entrepreneurial abilities when called upon, as I demonstrated at Goldman Hackathon. During my internship, I also noticed that my team lacked adequate amount of documentation. A software documentation is the information that describes the products to its users. It consists of the product's technical manuals, for example, how to install the product or how to use the product. Since I was already taking notes for myself as I was working on the product, I took the effort to write a simple documentation. Towards the end of my internship, I presented the documentation to my manager, and she was so happy that she made the product available to the entire user base. My lesson from this experience was if you see something that can be improved, don't be afraid to take the effort to bring the change, as it will definitely help your community. The first lesson that I learned from my internship at Goldman Sachs was, in fact, this internship at Goldman Sachs was an elongated job interview. And this is true for internships at any big corporation. My team, my manager, my recruiter were always aware of my activities, and all my works and interaction with fellow employees were taken account in the decision of if I should be offered a job at the end of this internship. Of course, there were feedback and performance review sessions that I could utilize to improve myself. But I'm happy to say that I have received the job offer from Goldman Sachs. My second biggest lesson was that one can still be entrepreneurial while working in a big corporation by acting effectively when facing uncertainty and complexity, recognizing opportunities for change, and by mobilizing resources to create the change as I demonstrated during my previous example of the software documentation. And the last, but the most important lesson I learned was the value of entrepreneurial mindset and liberal arts education. While working at Goldman Sachs, I was surrounded by top Ivy League students and students from big name universities like Princeton, Duke, Harvard, Cornell, MIT, UPenn. I realized that all these students were top-notch computer programmers, but where I stood out from them was my ability to communicate my ideas effectively and think critically, which also helped me win the hackathon for my team in Goldman Sachs. What I've come to see is that it is not enough to be able to develop a new product, start a new campaign, or write a book. It is equally important to understand your users' needs, your target audience, and communicate your idea with them effectively. I'm thankful to EPG for providing me with many such opportunities to develop the skills and present my ideas in forms of competitions or hackathons. And I'm also thankful for Berea College for providing me these critical thinking abilities through a liberal arts education. I would like to thank Goldman Sachs for giving me the opportunity to work for them, as well as my coworkers, supervisors, managers, and mentors for everything they had taught me. I would also like to thank Berea College Internship Office, Berea College Entrepreneurship for Public Good Office, and Berea College Computer Science Department for supporting and preparing me for this opportunity. And I would like to thank everyone for listening to my presentation. Thank you.